A 2017 Emmy nominated Chicago host. He has multiple Emmy nominations for producing and writing work for entertainment TV such as NBC, privately owned channels on Comcast, and he is now Fashion and Entertainment magazine, and he's the editor for that. So he handles everything from the digital print publication based in London and sold worldwide. So he's located in our Chicago. So again, it's the biggest thing, and we kind of were talking about it earlier, is about that networking piece, right? So that's what's so amazing within our network, that all of us can be able to reach out to each other. Yeah.
I got a question. Is
Sure.
the Chicago campus bigger than this campus?
They're in just two separate buildings. So they're just kind of split. So that's the only difference. Yeah, they're just located right on State Street.
Okay.
Yep. So from there, let's go ahead and keep going. So this is kind of some of the things that we were talking about earlier. Candy was mentioning kind of keeping with the social media sites and making sure that you're updated there. Different videos and different things like that that we'll be able to take you through. So right now, we actually just switched over to Teams, so excuse me on this. So again, we'll walk you through with Teams. Now, this is the biggest chunk that I'd like to discuss with you, and I'm gonna shut this off just so you guys can see a little bit better. But, so taking you through attendance, grades, and our online courses. So attendance is key part of your success, 100% anywhere you go, right? But also, like Justin mentioned earlier, this is an 8-month interview, right? So that's something that we wanna make sure that we're helping you get prepared for your employment. It's something that we're helping build a great foundation. But again, if you miss a day, you're missing huge pieces of the curriculum. Now, does that mean that if you have something personal going on or an emergency that we can't catch you up? Absolutely not. We will be there to help you, make sure that you can meet with an instructor and kind of get caught up. But again, if you can be here, we want you here, right? So again, the goal is to be able to give 100% every single day. This is now truly that opportunity with us having those online features that you can truly have a better opportunity for that. Now, part of our program, so you'll hear RTB, which is Radio, Television, and Broadcasting program, which is what you guys are in. There's also our Core Plus programs, which is what Dustin was talking about, which is like our sports that you can continue on after you're done with the RTB program. You can go into film, you can go into audio, you can go into film, audio, sports. That's it. Sorry, I named an extra and. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, I'm going too fast for myself. So with that, students will be able to have some online coursework as well as their live classroom sessions. So what that means for you is you guys will have classes while you're in school, right? But we also have an online classroom additional to this, okay? That is not something I'm gonna have you guys worry about tomorrow. That's something that we're gonna talk about a little bit later on in the week and take you through so you guys are prepared with that. But we do have parts of your curriculum that are online, that are video-based, that take you through where you guys can submit your assignments and things of that nature. And we're gonna kind of walk you through how does that look, like I mentioned, a little bit later on in the week. All that is, it's just an addition to your class is where you're gonna submit some of your online work. Now at the end of each term, you're gonna receive what's called an academic progress report with all of your grades. In addition, you're gonna receive regular feedback from your academic progress. So part of the breakdown with all of my instructors that you guys will be meeting is they're gonna give you guys feedback. When you guys turn in work, for instance in Teams, they can literally grade your assignment and actually send notes right back. I'll give you an idea, kind of one of my instructors, Tom, he handles our television side of things. He, one of the students submitted a video that they were shooting, and I think it was I wanna say it was a commercial that they were doing. And again, the feedback isn't just like, hey, you did a great job, keep going. But it really broke down to, in this section at minute 102, this is what I noticed. I really love this, this, and this, right? And really kind of making sure that you guys understand what you're turning in and how does that turn out, okay? Any questions on that? No? Don't worry, I'm not gonna quiz you as of today. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so this is just to kind of give you an idea of just what are some of the students and what they talked about inside and why they came to Illinois Media School or any of our Beyond Air Network schools. So again, each week you guys are gonna receive an email from us and you guys are gonna hear about it in classes. And that is about the reflections. Would you like to explain the reflections?
I would love to explain the reflections. Jamie and I should have added our fun video that we did together.
Oh, good.
So the reflections is something that I will send out to you via email every Wednesday afternoon. And it's highly, highly, highly encouraged, basically required to make sure you fill out these reflections. Not only for us, but for us to, the people that, this doesn't just go to us, it goes to like people in corporate and like.
Correct. So when you submit your reflections, it's gonna ask you numerous questions. And what it is truly basing on is what did you learn from the week?
Right.
It's not a student survey. There is an option for comments if you guys need to get a piece out to us. Again, my door is always open. All of our instructors' doors are always open as well. But with the reflections piece, this is kind of, think of it this way, and this was one of the best things that our education department taught me, was the reflections is the easiest way for you to get to that instructor, to get them to understand. Sorry, this light, I can't get out of my eyes. Every time I move, it's like following me. The reflections is the piece that the instructor can see, what did you learn for the week? Easiest way to comprehend that is our person who's in charge and actually writes our curriculum. Him and I were talking about it when I first came out. I'm like, so what's the point of this? Like every week it goes out, I read it, that's great. It goes to myself. It goes to, from there, I distribute that between my team of who needs to read that and who it fits in for. It goes all the way up to our CEO that we discuss it on weekly meetings and kind of where are we at, what are our students doing, how are they feeling, how are we progressing, all of those things. But the easiest way to understand it is those questions are the ones asking the who, what, where, why. What did you learn? What did you retain? What do you need more help with, etc. Think of it that is something that replaces having physical tests every week. You will not have a physical test that you guys are going to sit down with a pen and paper and take a test. But this is a way for us to understand and see what are you truly understanding, retaining, etc. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Obviously in the classroom, yes, our instructors are going to know if you're not understanding something, okay? But again, that's why those reflections are so vital, because that's what allows myself, my team, all of us to be able to work together to make sure that what we say that we're teaching, are you guys holding? Are you guys understanding? Right? Maybe there was an issue one day where Teams was acting funny. Great, put it in there, right? Or maybe there was something that you were like, I loved class today. Here's my favorite part. Put it in there, right? Like there's opportunities for that. I don't want you to feel that you can't be you, because I still want you to be you, but I want to make sure that you guys understand why that reflection is so key.
So okay. I'll send the email out on Wednesday, and the subject will be like end of week reflection with a smiley face. And then there's literally a link in that email that you'll just click on, and it's a little survey monkey, and then you'll be able to fill it out. So it's super easy. It won't take you more than 5 minutes. So I would highly encourage you guys to do that, because I know when I was a student that's something that helps the administration and just to better your education.
Absolutely. I was trying to pull this up, but since this computer is not liking anything that I am doing today, I am going to leave that alone.
Are we going to go into online work?
Yes, please. We kind of touched a bit about it, that we would go and kind of show them, sorry guys, how to log in. Wake up.
Like camera action. Okay. So I'm going to go into the online work. I know this might seem like a lot of information, but we are here to guide you, tomorrow and every day from here on out. But online work is something that's an addition on top of your classroom work. Okay, so your classroom work is a lot of hands-on with the equipment and projects using Adobe Audition, and then there's online work, which is what you'll be going to is beonairclassroom.com. I'll make sure I send this out to you guys, so don't feel like you gotta write this down or remember it all. But you guys will have usernames and passwords, and it'll bring you on to beonairclassroom.com. And then for your first term, you guys will be in charge of completing RTB 100, which is like intro to broadcasting. It's really interesting, and it's really important that you guys complete this. And then RTB 102, which is career development. And
this is the online stuff.
Yep, this is online. So this is stuff you're gonna do outside of class, which is I would start getting a head start on it as soon as tomorrow. I'll make sure that you guys have your usernames, passwords, and the link to log on. But basically, RTB 102 career development is awesome, because that's when you're gonna do like a mock interview with Dustin in career services, and it's gonna feel like a realistic interview of someone that would be interviewing you in the broadcasting field. So I would highly recommend that you guys begin that tomorrow and get a little bit done each week. Because we would like people to get it done in the first month, so you guys don't have to worry about it, right? You get it done, and then you don't have to worry about it after that. So I will make sure that I email you guys the username and password. We can log into it together if you guys have any questions, but it's just little different modules, and it's actually very interesting. So if you just sit there with no distractions and just crank it out, then you'll be done. But it is a requirement to graduate, so I do highly encourage you to get that done. Along with the online work, we also have studio lab hours, and that's, in order to graduate, you need 160 hours. And I know it seems like a lot, but it's really not, because you guys will be working on your projects like all the time outside of class. So every week you'll get like 10 hours easily. So basically, studio lab hours is a little different with COVID, right? It's right now, we know that sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to find like that internship right this second, but we have additional opportunities for you. I have a whole list of things that you can do in my office, where you can listen to a radio show, write the pros and cons of it. You can make your own YouTube channel, make your own podcast, and you literally get hours for doing that. Or if you're here outside of class, if you're here from like 2 to 3 working on a project, you get hours for doing that. I just cannot give you hours during class time. So if you're here from 10 a.m. to 3, or 10 a.m. to 2, or 6:30 to 10:30, I can't give you hours during that class time. It's outside of that class time. Okay?
So, for instance, let me ask this question. So, for instance, like you say, not during class time. So, if we done with class, we only here for about 4 hours.
Okay.
We want to come back to get more hours. We can come back to get more hours?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Is there a way that you can speed your course up if you come and do more hours?
No. We work all together, and yeah, that's a great question though. I love that question. But yeah, so you guys will have a little studio lab hour sheet that's going to be located on one of the hallways, and I have a whole stack of them. And I'll probably come in tomorrow to your classrooms to show you guys, because I'm going to be here tomorrow morning, and then I'll stay for the night class as well. But you literally just put your time in that you'll be there, the time that you're leaving, and what you did. And then some of them I do require that little background knowledge of what radio show you listen to and the pros and the cons. But I know that's a lot of information, but I literally have this all printed out to give you guys. I just didn't want to overwhelm you on the first day, so I'll give it to you guys tomorrow. But
Go ahead, overwhelm us. Go ahead, overwhelm.
No, but it's super easy stuff. Like I said, the online work won't take you long at all. You can literally crank it out in literally 3 days. And then the studio lab hours is not rough at all. But those are the 2 things that are required for graduation. So just a heads up, I would start working on those tomorrow. Any questions on the studio lab hours or the online work? We're all good? Awesome. So I think that's...
I just have one last thing.
Yes.
Yep. All right, awesome. So again, guys, I promise you're going to forget a good chunk of what we told you. That's okay. That's why there's orientation, and that's why we're all here to kind of help throughout the entire process. So what I just dropped off to you guys is a card that you guys have in front of you. So this is your first homework assignment for me. Dun, dun, dun. All right. I would like this back tomorrow, so it gives you some time to think. What this is a card I want you guys to be able to write to yourself. Not to me, but to you. So you can start any way you want. I've seen some that are dear me, hey you, other fun names, whatever, okay? But ultimately, this is going to be for you. I want you guys to be able to write, where do you see yourself? What do you want to do in this industry? Maybe you don't know. That's okay too. You can write that, right? But ultimately, I want you to be able to write in there, why did you choose Illinois Media School? Why now? Where do you picture yourself? All the things we kind of talked about today, that who, what, where, why, when, right? And the reason why I want you guys to do this is 2 reasons. Number 1 is there's going to be a day that it's a rough day. I'm not going to stand up here and say it is rainbows and butterflies every single day. No, it's just like life. There's ups and downs, and There may be one time that you're in the studio and you're like, this is simple. Done. I love it, right? And then there might be another time that you're like, I've recorded this 15 times and I don't like the way it sounds. That's okay.
You will learn to lower your voice, let me just say that.
Yes.
Oh, that's another thing I figured out. Yeah, you're gonna hear yourself a lot, huh?
You will. But
Mm.
these cards are there for you guys for some of those days that sometimes maybe even just personal. Maybe there's something going on outside of here. Things happen. We keep these cards on file for you guys. Okay, so if you are having a bad day, you can come up and say, Jamie, Hannah, I might just need to read that card. Or maybe there's something that we're like, you know what? You can see that maybe they're struggling a little bit. Let's go grab the card and give it to them. Sometimes it's nice just to see things in your own words. Not for me to sit there and be like, remember when you and I were talking and you told me that you want to do this, this, and this? It's like, yeah, I remember. Yeah. Right?
So,
But it's nice to hear from you, okay? On top of that, when you graduate in a short 8 months from now, I will be giving those cards back to you to read. So. I
so
want
this
you
is
to
kind of
take
like
those-
a form of a memory board then, in a sense.
Exactly.
It's a
But this will be
pre-memory.
just for you guys. I am
Okay.
gonna tell you, and I will be very upfront, I do read them. I will tell you right now, I do read them, and the reason why I do read them is that also helps me help your instructor and understand things and where you're looking to go. If it's something that is genuinely very, very personal that you would like to put in there, just let me know, and I'll put a little sticky note to read it. But predominantly, I do like to read those. I like to get to know you guys a little bit better too, and that's why we do that.
It'll help you facilitate better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yep. All right, yes.
I just said, are